Hello. South Korean and North Korean government negotiators are meeting for the first talks between their countries in more than 2 years. They're expected to discuss whether the North will send a delegation to the Winter Olympics in South Korea next month. A series of North Korean nuclear and missile tests and the insults traded between Pyongyang and Washington have raised tensions on the peninsula to the highest in decades. I spoke just now to the BBC's Sophie Long in Seoul.
Just before they sat down to begin those talks, the first time there's been government-level talks between the North Korean and South Korean governments in more than 2 years. There was a lot of national press there, huge amount of interest in this, of course, here. And both parties spoke to media present. The North Korean Lee Song-hwan, who is leading their delegation, said that he was here with the hope that we can give New Year's gift to our people. He said he hopes for precious results from these talks. He actually suggested that they could allow the media to stay in the room in Peace House where these talks are going on. The South Korean unification minister said because they hadn't met for so long that perhaps they should continue in the way they've always done things, which is without the media present, and perhaps they could open things up as those talks continue. Top of the agenda is whether or not Pyongyang will send a delegation to the Winter Olympics, which are due to get underway here in South Korea next month. The South Korean president has consistently said that he hopes that the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, could be a groundbreaking chance for change and a chance to de-escalate tensions here on the Korean Peninsula, which, as you will know, have been running at very high point, with insults being traded between President Donald Trump, an ally of South Korea, and Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader. Now, Kim Jong-un said in his New Year's speech that he was open to dialogue with the South, and things moved very swiftly from there on until we got to this point where those talks are now taking place. The first time in 2 years.
I guess it's massively unlikely that anything groundbreaking will be achieved, or they will even touch on denuclearization, but people will be looking for signs that there might be a chance of progress.
Yeah, I think we know that the first thing they will talk about is the Winter Olympics, but it's hoped that if Pyongyang do send a delegation to the Winter Olympics, and of that, most people are quite confident. Both the South Korean president and the North Korean leader have said that they want that to happen. So if that happens, it's hoped that there will be a period, at least, of some peace and some stability. A lot of people feel that if North Korea have a delegation there, then they're very unlikely to do any missile tests or nuclear tests throughout that period. The last test they carried out was an intercontinental ballistic missile on the 29th of November. So some weeks ago. If you add into that the period of the Olympic Games, that takes us with the Paralympics to the 19th of March. That is a period of calm which could create a new environment in which parties are more willing to talk about things going forward. We know today top of the agenda will be the Olympics. After that, we're told that they will talk about inter-Korean issues. So things like humanitarian issues. There are still thousands of families who are divided by the border separating the two countries. That's an issue that we're expecting they might get to, but they will not. We are not expecting them to touch on denuclearization. And as you rightly point out, that is the fundamental issue here to any lasting form of kind of peace and stability.
BBC's Sophie Long in the South Korean capital. For more on those talks, including detailed analysis from our correspondents, just go to our website. That's bbc.com/news. Let's just bring you some of the latest lines coming in from the news agencies from those talks in Panmunjom, the village, of course, in the demilitarized zone there between North and South Korea. The head of the South Korean delegation has said that the North will be sending athletes to next month's Winter Olympics, those, of course, in South Korea. We're also hearing that the South is proposing military talks with the North. No response on that, as I understand it, from the North at the moment. And also that the South is proposing that there are more talks about reuniting families divided by the border. Again, as far as I know, as far as we know at the moment, no response from the North on that. We'll bring you more as soon as we have it.